Classes concept finished. Object concept finished. Daily we will continue that. Daily we will continue that concept, ma. Daily we will continue that concept. Okay. Now, how many types of data members are there? First 2 minutes I will recapitulate. How many types of data members are there? Two types of data members are there. What are those names, ma? What are those names? Instance data members, class level data members. How do you call instance data members? How do you call instance data members? With respect to object name. With respect to what name? Object name. With respect to object name. How do you call the class level data members? Right. With respect to object name, with respect to class name, you can call with respect to even any self with respect to object name, everything. Okay. Very perfect. Now, how do you call? How many types of methods are there? Come on, ma. Speed up. Speed up the things. Three types of methods are there. Three types of methods are there. Number one, instance methods. Number two, class level methods. Number three, static method. Right. How do you recognize it is a instance method? How do you recognize it is an instance method? By seeing the self as a first parameter. By seeing self as a first parameter. Okay. Next, how do you call instance methods? How do you call instance methods? How do you call instance methods? With respect to object name as well as with respect to what? Self. Okay. Right. Fine. Next, how do you call class level methods? How do you call class level methods? With respect to class name, with respect to object name also we can call. Which decorator we use for defining class level method? Which decorator we use for designing class level method? @class method. Very good, very good, perfect. @class method. Perfect. Right. Right. What is the first parameter in the class level method? CLS. Is it mandatory to use the CLS as CLS? Is it mandatory to use CLS as CLS? No, ma. Very perfect. Perfect, students. Right. Now, next I want to go for, we can use KVR also. Very good. Satyam Sharma. So more affection on KVR, sir. Very good. Okay. Satyam Sharma is expressing more affection on KVR. Thank you, ma. Satyam Sharma. Okay. So I can use any student name of mine in place of CLS. Is it mandatory to use self, ma? Is it mandatory to use self as it is as self? No, ma. We can use any name. We can use any name in place of self. Okay. Very perfect. Now tell me, static methods will take what? Will they take self and CLS as first parameter? Will they take any CLS or self? No self, no CLS. That type of methods are called static methods. What is the decorator used for that? What is the decorator used for that? @static method. @static method. @static method. Perfect. Right. How do you call static methods in Python? How do you call static methods in Python? With respect to come on, ma. Class name or object name. Very, very good. Now, so that is already done. Object name also done. Object name, all those things we completed. Now we are entering into further topics in the same place. Right. So it is happy to inform you that, and all of you carefully observe it. Now I'm going to add some extra content to the Python because in the near future, I'm going to start data science also. That's why, because most the demand of many students of us are referring us, going for data science level from our side. From my side, they are going for data science from me, and I'm going to teach from my side NumPy for you. NumPy also I'm going to tell you, and Pandas. Pandas also I'm going to explain. NumPy and Pandas I'm going to explain. So, as a computer science doctorate in computer science in my research level, I'm a research PhD in my computer science subject called design and analysis of algorithms. It is an extension to the data structures. In our Python, I'm going to teach NumPy and Pandas. When I'm going to start? Coming Sunday, I'm going to take special classes. Special class I'm going to take this NumPy. Yes, ma, I'm going to teach, and I'm going to teach for you also. Actually, from this 9 o'clock new batch onwards, I added this. I'm going to teach NumPy and Pandas for you also. NumPy and Pandas for you. And very shortly, I will start a data science level from my side also. I'll start data science from my side also. And I'm going to happy to inform you that I'm going to teach you this also. Okay? Yes, ma, I will explain, ma. I will explain, and I will explain like anything, mind-blowing explanation I will give. See, ma, I'm adding some extra content now. See, dear students, don't make me to run, ma, because I'm telling new things now. New things I'm going to tell you. So don't make me to run. So if you make me to run, I have to skip some topics. So Sunday I will tell you. Friday I will tell you the timing of it. Okay. Friday I will go for taking. Friday I will take you some timing. I will tell you on Friday. Okay, na? Right. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to take NumPy and Pandas also. Okay. Right. So be relaxed, and don't be tension for it. And it is very easy also. I will take 2 Sundays. I will take 2 Sunday classes. I will take. So you can happily learn this NumPy and Pandas. Okay, right. Shall I continue my class? Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Thank you for your compliments. Yeah, so many people are waiting for, even morning 9 o'clock. People are waiting for data science. They are waiting. And after our Python, one more Python batch is started, we will go for doing that. Yes, ma. Thank you. Let us go for starting this. Even in morning Python batch, we are having more than 290 students. 290 students joined. 290 students. It's really great. And Python, that many students for our class. It's all your references. All your friends, and so many of them came to that. Still, it will go on increasingly. It's really an extraordinary batch started. Like your batch only, it is forming. Okay, let me start, because we are adding new content to that. Yeah, right. Yes, ma'am. So our Java batch also will start June 14th or 15th. New Java batch is going to start. I will intimate that timing also for you. Okay, right. So please let me permit from now onwards Python with NumPy. I will write the title with today onwards Python with NumPy and Python. Right, ma'am. So let us move forward. Now today's concept I am going to start. Constructors in Python. Heading I am going to introduce. Continuation of classes and objects now. Constructors in Python. Constructors in Python. Constructors in Python. Dear students, please be careful. After that, we are going to start destructors in Python. Destructors in Python. I'm going to introduce destructors in Python. Okay, destructors. So, destructors in Python. Okay, destructors in Python. And at the same time, I will discuss garbage collection also. Garbage collection. 1 minute more. Garbage collection module also I am going to discuss. Garbage collection module also I am going to discuss. Like OS module. Right. So, like OS module, like RE module, we are going to have garbage collection module. GC module is there. GC. I will explain. This is the next concept of After the constructors, I will talk about it. It's very, very easy. Anything we explain, that is going to be an ultimate. Anything is going to be ultimate. This is going to come into our topic. Right? Yes, ma. Satyam Sharma. It is also part of our extension class. New facilities I am going to teach. New facilities I am going to teach. Yes, ma. What is that? Patala. Some name I did not see. Sir, if the new Google Drive doesn't have the whole material in it, they have only few topics in the drive. No, ma. I am doing every day. I will show you at the end of the class. I will show you everything. I will open everything in front of you. Only I am opening, uploading now. Everything I am uploading in front of you. This is room 2 now. 2 rooms are there. 2 rooms are there. Yes, ma. This is, we are, Mr. Students, it is a part of OOPS only. As a part of OOPS only, we are entering into the constructors. Somebody is asking, what is OOPS? What about OOPS? As a part of OOPS only, we are coming to the constructor. At the time of explaining, please listen, amma. Please listen. Please listen. I will confirm from the office people, amma, how many rooms they created and all. I will find out, okay? Please don't worry. I will find out first because they gave me the link of one room only. They gave me the link of one room only. In that link only, I am just going to place daily. Okay, I don't know the second room of Google Classroom Drive. I will see that. I will let me know. Let me know. Then I will talk about this. Okay, na? In OOPS only, we are talking about constructors. Still, OOPS will be continued for one more week. One more week means what? Monday to Saturday. I'm going on talking about OOPS. After this constructors, we are entering into destructors. And then after that, we are entering into encapsulation. Already I told you, in OOPS features, I will go for, I shown you already. But when the student asked a doubt, I got fear. All of a sudden, fear I got it. OOPS in Python. See that classes and objects completed. Data encapsulation, data abstraction. Before this data abstraction, data encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, separately I am discussing everything. Separately I am discussing. In middle of classes and objects, inside the class, we are writing what? Constructors we are writing. Destructors we are writing. So before classes and objects, before third one, we are getting inside the classes, we are adding constructors concept. Right? Fine. Let us coming to the point back. Fine, ma. So, fine. So let us coming to the discussion. Okay, ma. Regarding the Google Classroom Drive, please forget about it. I will find out. Let me enter into the subject, please. Please permit me to enter into the subject. Please permit me. Your doubts regarding Google Classroom Drive, I will take care, ma. Please permit me. Regarding Google Classroom Drive material, I will take care. Sir is along with you only, na? Sir is along with you only. Sir can prepare the material. He will give you every 100%. He will give you. Okay, don't worry. Right. Let me go for it. Constructors in Python. Let me go into the concept. See students. Take one example directly. Take one example. With the example, I will go for it. So I'm taking emp.py. There I will take class employee. Class what? Employee. Inside the class employee, we are taking def. Carefully understand. Because constructors is one of the sensitive concepts. Because you have to understand very well. Def get emp values. Get emp values of self. Now I am writing self dot eno is equal to int of input of enter employee number, emp number, enter employee number. Please carefully observe it, ma. Next, self dot e name of input of enter employee name. Enter EMP name. Enter employee name. Okay. Next, last and final, self dot DSG, salary and all I'm not taking. Input of enter, input of entered, enter employee designation. This is what we are taking. Fine, ma. Now at the same time, dear students, I am explaining about def. One more function I am writing, display EMP values. Display EMP values. See students, self. I am printing about that employee number, employee name and all those things. I will print. Carefully observe it. Because it's a gunshot question in interview point of view. Explain the importance of constructors in classes. Explain the importance of destructors in the classes and the importance of garbage collector also. Have you heard about in my class garbage collector? Have you heard about in my class garbage collector definition? Yes, sir. So that definition practically I am going to show in the class. That definition practically I will show in the class. Okay, right. Look at my print of employee number dot format of self dot envo. Carefully understand. Next I am going to take EMP name. I am going to take self dot e name. Next I am going to take EMP salary, EMP designation. I will write EMP designation is equal to EMP dot DSG. I said DSG. Okay, right. Dear students, main program I am taking. Carefully observe, ma. Okay. Suraj, good, ma. Good definition. Remembered. Very nice. Nice to listen from you. SO is equal to, dear students, carefully observe, ma. EO is equal to, EO1 is equal to employee of. Now tell me, this is called what? This line is called what? Object creation. Clearly reason. Object creation. When an object is created, you tell me what is happening? What is happening in the memory? In the memory, whenever an object is created, EO1 is equal to employee. The moment when an object is created, do you know what is happening? An object is created which is pointed by EO1, and this is containing x of 1, 2, 3. Tell me, ma, if you are you are already intelligent student. I know. We made you. See here, how many objects are pointing to this memory space? Don't tell quickly. I am asking you, how many objects are pointing to this memory space? Raj Kamal, be careful, man. Now my question, you understand? How many objects? Objects, not object. Objects. 2 objects are pointing, not one. One is wrong answer. 2 objects are pointing. What are those 2? You can tell me. What are the 2 objects? You know. Yes, please. One is EO1. Next one. Yeah, I am expecting at least. No, Amjan. Now I am expecting. No, you can tell. At least one student can tell. I have the hope of it. No. Self. Subham. Excellent. Amar. Excellent. Self is pointing. Self. How many objects are pointing? Whenever I create an object, how many objects are pointing? 2 objects are pointing. 2 objects are pointing. Okay? Right. 1 minute. You tell me. Self EO1. Now I am asking one dangerous question. And I will show you practically. When I am asking one dangerous question. I hope who will be the intelligent student, I want to know. I created one more object also. EO2 I will create it. EO2 I will create. EO2 I will create EO2 is equal to employee. Don't tell immediately. Think and then tell. If you tell immediately, no, that is the wrong answer. One more object created. One more object created. How many objects are there now? Don't tell quickly. I told you. How many objects are created? How many objects are available now? Yes, Ganesh. K. Correct answer. Right. Right. 3 objects are there. Excellent. Excellent, Amma. Excellent. Really, I felt very happy who are saying 3 objects. I thought you are going to say 4. Already some people said 4. No. Kaushal Tata. Excellent, Amma. 1 object only. 2 objects are physically you created. But whenever your PVM is pointing to EO1, self is there. But when PVM shifted to CO2, self is shifted to EO2. EO2. So how many objects are there? 3 objects are there. EO1 and EO2 are the objects you created, and internally one more object is there. That is called self. How many objects are there? For finally, 3 objects are there. Excellent. Now last and final. This is an interview-based question. Whenever I create 400 objects, 400 objects. How many objects are totally there in Python program? 401 objects are there. Compulsory question. You take any student, they don't know anything about it. They don't know anything about it. Sir, show me practically. Yes, I am ready to show you. I will show you that. Fine. So, in general, whenever I create n objects, how many objects are available internally? N plus 1 objects are there. N plus 1 objects are available. We are going to see that kind of program very perfectly. Okay. Now coming to our present discussion. Do you have any values inside of EO1? Whenever an object is created, it is an empty. It is an empty. Yes. How do you print that is an empty? Sir, printed, show me, sir. Here I am writing print of content of EO1 is equal to EO1 dot underscore of dict. Underscore of dict. EO1 dot underscore of dict. Underscore of dict. Now, dear students, I will save my code. So, coming to the point of it, listen carefully. Now I am creating one separate folder. In the classes and objects only, separate folder I am creating. Constructors. If any doubts are there, please listen the class. Carefully listen. emp.py. Right. Coming to the point of it. G colon. Now I am going to come to the point. G colon. There I am saying KVR Python 4 PM. There I will take it classes, or I will take where we are in whoops, under whoops only, CD whoops, under that constructors we have. Yes, this is the point. Now see Python I am writing py and emp1.py. So it is going to print empty. Now, dear student, now I am asking a question. Whenever an object is created, it is going to print empty. Right. Now, I want to fill the values. I want to fill up the values. What you will do, according to the knowledge you have so far, to put your values inside the object, what you will do? Tell me. I am asking the question now. Excellent. Call this method, sir. Call getEmp values method, sir. EO1 dot getEmp values method, sir. Call getEmp values method, sir. So then only getEmp values function method called with respect to EO1. EO1 is an object of employee. PVM control goes to employee, executing this get employee values method, and finally this execution taken place. Right. This is what we have done so far. Yes, I will go for what? I will call once again what? EO1 dot display employee values. I will call. Display employee values are calling, and that method will be called. and this is execution is done. Execute, ma. Execute. Asking the number 111. Rosam here, and he is an author. He is an author. So see finally. Okay, I will call. I will call that. Execute once again. Number, name, and then values are printed. So everybody is happy. But as a programmer, you should not be happy. You should not be happy. Dear student, whenever you create an object, it is going to contain empty. Okay, we know. To fill the values separately, see my sentence, separately, you are calling one method. Then only the values are filled. Then only the values are filled. Suppose if I don't call this method, suppose if I don't call that method, is the values are filled or unfilled? Is the values are filled or unfilled? It is not filled, sir. It is still empty, sir. It is empty, sir. This is, I don't want this type of problem. I don't want this type of problem. What I am expecting, sir? Listen, all of you. Again, if sir explain again, I cannot explain this much of big explanation again. Whenever an object is created, I want to place the values in the object directly without calling the method separately like a EO1 dot, EO1 dot. I don't want to call the method separately by using object name. I don't want to call the method as what? EO1 dot get EMP values like this. Explicitly, I don't want to call. This is calling explicitly. Explicitly means separately. See the word explicitly. We are calling method. We are calling method. It is a waste of time. It is a waste of time for me. Whenever I create an object, when we create an object, now I am writing ma. When we create an object, I will write one sentence. When we create an object, it must be initialized. It must be initialized. Initialized means what? Place the values inside. Not by calling the method. It is a waste of time for me to call. Methods are meant for what? Performing the operation. Performing the operation I must take. But here I am taking the method for filling the values in the object. Industry says don't go for wasting your time of calling the method for filling the values. What I am saying, whenever an object is created, whenever we want to create an object, it must be initialized. Initialized means what? Fill the values automatically. Fill the values. It must be initialized by calling one method implicitly. By PVM. That method by implicitly initialized by calling one special method implicitly by PVM. That special method is called constructor. See how beautiful it is. That special method is called constructor. People will ask you compulsory question in an interview point of view. Dear students, why we use constructor? Once again, I will repeat. Whenever an object is created, so far we learned it is an empty. To fill the values inside of that object, we are taking instance method. Calling explicitly in the separate line. I don't want to waste my separate line. I don't want to call the method separate. No. Whenever an object is created, during my object creation, PVM calls one special method will be called implicitly by PVM. That special method is called constructor. Constructor is also one special method. Why it is special method? I will tell you. It is a special method. Why it is? I will tell you. This constructor is meant for initializing the object. Tell me, for my satisfaction, inside the class, along with your methods, what are you writing from now onwards? Please tell me. What are you writing from now onwards? Please tell me. Constructors we are writing. Come on, catch it. Already some super spiders are there in my class. Spiders. They are going to be excellent. Already topmost students are there. Catch it quickly. Of course, 85% of the people are topmost people. They are called jets. What they are called? Constructor. In a class, we are writing 3 methods plus 1 constructor we are writing. A constructor is meant for what? Initializing the object. And other methods are used for what, sir? Performing the operation. Are you understanding the difference between constructor and method? Are you understanding the first difference between constructor and method? Methods are meant for performing operations. Class level operations, object level operations, utility operations. So when they will do, sir? When the object contains values, sir. Who will place the values inside the object, sir? Who will place the object values inside the object, sir? Constructor will place the values. Please tell me, for my satisfaction, 2 things you need to understand. Now I am going for the notes. Why we use constructors? I am expecting from you. The purpose of constructors in a class of Python. The purpose of constructors in a class of Python. Tell me, is that the purpose of constructors in a class of Python is that to initialize the object. If you don't follow me, it's a problem. To initialize the object. What is meant by that, sir? Constructors are always used for, I am writing, constructors are always used for placing our own values. Placing our own values without empty. Placing our own values in the object. It is called what? Initializing the object. I hope this word you are understanding. Initializing the object. Tell me for my satisfaction, whenever you create an object, object must be, quickly catch it. Whenever I create an object must be initialized. Who will initialize the object? Man? Constructors will initialize the object. Who will initialize the object? Constructors will initialize the object. Dear students, now I am going to give the clarity in the class. Constructor purpose is to initialize the object. Constructors are always used for placing our own values. Now I am going to write the definition of constructors. I am writing. So a constructor is one of the definition of constructor, because it is one of the gunshot question interview point of view. What is the purpose of constructor? Next, definition of constructor also I am asking. What is the purpose of constructor? Definition of constructor. Now I am writing. A constructor is one of the special method. A constructor is one of the special method. Which is automatically, I will show you, automatically, implicitly called by PVM during object creation. See students, during object creation, and whose role is to place our own values without empty our own values in the object, without placing our own values in the object, instead of writing without placing our own values without empty. This word I can write because exactly we need to learn it without empty. Right. Now, Arindam, it is not Java, ma. It is not Java. It is not Java. Just for 1 minute, ma. Yes, ma. Now, it is not Java. It is not Java. So, constructor are you calling or implicitly calling? Tell me, ma. Constructor is calling. You are calling or implicitly calling? Implicitly calling. During what time? Object creation. Very, very shortly, I will show you that. Now, let us go for what is the special method star. What is the special method star? Now I am going for here only I am going for syntax for here straightforward. I am coming to syntax for defining syntax for defining what is that? Constructor. Syntax for defining constructor. See how easy it is. Syntax for defining the constructor. How do you define the syntax for defining the method? Def. Function name we will write it. Here underscore init underscore self. Be careful. Self comma list of formal parameters. I will explain like anything. List of formal parameters if any. Say indentation symbol. I will write a block of statements. Indentation symbol. Now I will write a block of statements. What it is? Block of statements. So this block of statements doing what? Initialization doing. Now I am going to take this initialization statements. Fine, ma. Look at that carefully. What is the special method? What is the special method? Please look at. What is my special method? Can everybody can understand? What is the special method name? Yes, guys. I am expecting. What is the special underscore init method? You cannot change this name. You see here, this is called our own method name. It is called an ordinary method name, normal method name. We taken that. Now we are taking a special method name underscore init. This is called a notation of the constructor in Python. Those who are coming from Java, be little bit careful, ma. Now I am going to take same program which you did with the normal classes, na. I will do with constructor. Let me show you the next example. Now I am saying others py with the constructor I am defining. With the constructor I will define. Yes. Now I will say this part. Just to remove this entirety. Whenever an object is created, it must be initialized by calling one special method. What is the special method I am going to define? In this class, I decided to define a constructor. Def underscore init underscore of self. Right now, I am not passing any parameters. Only self is taking. Dear student, just I will write it. Print of I am from constructor. Just a message making you to understand. I am from constructor. Called automatically. When an object is created. See how beautiful this question is. See, ma, EO1 is equal to employee. That's it. I am not calling any method. Just I am writing this. Save it. EMP1. I will just take it. EMP1. Save this code. EMP1. Just execute. See, ma, coming to the point of it. EMP1.py. What is happening? Whenever an object is created, immediately your PVM will go to the class employee looking for the constructor. This one, is it there or not? Since it is there, it will execute. See, I got it. I am from constructor called automatically when an object is created. Dear students, you please tell me, am I calling any method here specially? Am I calling any method specially? No, sir. One more object you create, EO2 is equal to employee. EO2 is equal to employee. Second object created. Again constructor is calling. Again constructor is calling. See that? Again constructor is called. I am from constructor. I am from constructor. One more time you call it. EO3 is equal to employee. Employee. One more time constructor is calling. 3 times. Tell me, constructor will call automatically each and every time when an object is created. Tell me, am I calling any method specially, ma? Am I calling any method specially? No, sir. But one method is calling automatically. Automatically, that is called one special method, I said. What is that special method? Underscore underscore init, which is used to place our own values. Now I am going to write the constructor. Now I am going to write the beautiful logic inside. Beautiful logic inside. What is that logic? Please look at that. Look at that. How beautiful code I will write inside. Whatever the logic you have written previously under the method, that logic only I will write. That logic only I will write. Happy. It's so happy I will carry this logic. So happy that I am getting this logic here. Yes. Start now. Remove these other things. Now you understand object is created. Whenever an object is created, now print immediately. Now you see content of EO1 is equal to comma EO1 dot underscore underscore dict underscore underscore dict of. Now you execute. Dear students, see. Employee number. Object created. Control coming here. Executing. Employee number. 111. Employee name. RS. Author. See. Content of him. Is it empty na non-empty na? Is it empty na non-empty na? Tell me, is it empty na non-empty na? That means it is initialized with what? Our own values. Who will initialize our own values? Who will initialize our own values? Who will initialize our own values? Constructors. For my satisfaction, you tell me, is the definition is clear? Purpose is clear? The purpose of constructors in a class of Python is that to initialize the object. Our constructors are always used for placing our own values in the object without empty. A constructor is a special method which is automatically or implicitly called by PVM during object creation, whose role is to place our own values in the object without empty. Yes, perfect. Now, defining the syntax for defining the constructor. Is the syntax for defining the constructor is clear or not clear? Is the syntax for defining the constructor is clear or not clear? Clear, sir. Now, dear students, please tell me one important point. What is the difference? If somebody will ask you tomorrow, what is the difference between ordinary method and then constructor? You have to tell. Constructor name must always starts with underscore init underscore init. Underscore underscore init underscore underscore. Methods will start with a def function name which will be done, and that will be methods to be called explicitly, constructors will be called implicitly. Dear students, are you getting? Shall I move forward? Are you permitting me to go for that constructors next? Continuation part of it. Yeah, crystal clear. Okay, very nice. Nice to listen that word. Right. Next, I am going for one more thing. Rules for constructors I am talking about. Rules for constructors. So there are some rules and regulations are required. Now I am writing for small minute you try to understand. Rules for using constructors. Some extra rules I am providing, some extra content I am creating. Rules for using constructors. Good. Rules for using constructors. The first rule I am using it. Constructors are calling automatically constructors are calling automatically. Constructors are calling implicitly during the object creation to place our own values without making empty. It is a property number one to understand when it is calling. Whether you will feel it as a definition or it is a property, you should understand like this. Instead of writing a constructor is a special method, constructor is calling is automatically or implicitly called by PVM during object creation, whose role is to place our own values without placing an object, without placing empty. Why I said that rule? You should not attempt to call the constructor like a method. You should not attempt to call the constructor like a method. That's why I'm telling to you. Okay. Second point. If the first rule is clear, if it tells first rule is clear, second rule I will go for it. Second rule I will go for it. Yes, sir. Clear. Constructor name. Constructor name. I am writing. Constructor name must starts with. Constructor name must starts with. Tell me. Constructor name must starts with. Please, students. Underscore. 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 Init. Underscore. Underscore. Of. Self. Comma. Dot. 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 I will write dot. 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 If you want params, I will write params. If any, I will write. Okay. That you can done. Fine. See students. Always you must understand whether you got it or not. I don't know. How many objects I created earlier, ma? See, this is E1 is created. Dear students, I will print that. How do you print it? How do you print it, ma? I will say, here I will say like this. Please look at that. Here it is printing. It is printing like this also. Here like this. One more object I will create. EO2 is equal to employee. EO2 is equal to employee. Second object created. Like the third object also created. Like the third object also created. Third object also I will create. Save it. Execute now. Execute now. Yes. Enter the number 1111. Next is called what? Susmita. Susmita. I enter. Software engineer. Got it. What happens? Employee. Spelling mistake. EMPLOYE. LO. Somewhere else mistake. Okay. Okay. No problem. You enter again. No problem. So number one. Okay. Susmita. Software engineer. Enter the employee number. Enter the employee number. So something like 007. Rajashekar. Okay. He is called James Bond. James Bond. So James Bond is James Bond. Right. Fine. So enter the number. Something like so 2222. Now it's called what? It's called what? Ganesh is there. Ganesh is called what? HR head is HR head. See, ma, all of the values are called. It indicates our constructor called how many times? 3 times our constructor accepted. It indicates. Now I am asking one beautiful question. Now, constructor is calling as and when object is created. You tell me, constructors will have which in nature constructor is having. If you really follow me, you have to answer this. Otherwise, I will be disappointed first. Constructor is calling and whenever Arindam, excellent. It is having instance nature. Excellent, Harish. Everybody. Constructor is having instance nature. Why? It is calling each and every time whenever object is created. That means you cannot write before that at the rate. See, I am trying to write like this. I am trying to write this now. See, you got an error. Static, I wrote static. Constructor cannot be a static. One more time I am writing. Class I am writing. Right? You got an error. Employee number here. So see something like this. HR head. So something like 222. Now I am writing some name I will write. So he is James Bond. So something like I am writing, some name I am writing, something like this I will write. So the class which is the constructor which is having instance nature, it indicates in the same class level only it is operating. It is operating on all the objects level. So the constructor can have which nature? Actually, instance nature. You can also write no problem this decorator also. It is a very, very important point. That's why I'm writing it. Static method I wrote, it is giving an error. Strictly speaking, it has instance nature. If you want, you can write what? This also, no problem. Why, ma? This constructor is calling for all the object to supply the specific values. Dear students, are you okay? Can I write this rule? Can I write this rule? Third rule. Now, what is that rule? A constructor in a class, a constructor in a class can do initialization, can do initializing the object. A constructor in the class can do initialization of the object, and it will be called by PVM implicitly during object creation. Okay, a constructor type must be always instance as well as what? Class type, class level type, and it cannot be what type? Static method. Static method. A constructor, okay, 1 minute ma, I will correct my sentence. A constructor type, a constructor type must be always, actually always instance nature. Instance, this is an official sentence. Instance nature, and it can also be, and it can also be what nature? And it can also be what nature? And it can also be class. And it can also be class level method and nature. Because we are writing, we tested with what we can write at the rate class method also. Because it is going to be working on all objects. Dear students, are you okay? Are you okay? Please confirm. And definitely people will ask you this question. These are the rules for constructor. They will ask you the question, what is the difference between method and constructor? A method and constructor. A constructor always initializes the object, and a method always performs the operation on object. So I'm writing a small differences between constructor and methods. So coming to the point of it, differences between constructors and methods. Fine. Now coming to the point of it. What I'm saying now, constructors can initialize the object. Constructors can initialize the objects. And methods can do the operations. On objects data. I think you are following. Constructors can initialize the objects, and methods can do the operations on objects. That is the first difference. Constructor name is a special method. Constructors containing special name. Constructors can be having special name, and it is having implicit calling. Method name can be chosen by the programmer, and it is supposed to be called explicitly. Now I am writing constructor name must be underscore init underscore self comma dot whereas method name I'm writing method name, whereas method name can be programmer defined. Next part I'm writing constructors called by PVM. Constructors called by PVM. Constructors called by PVM. Constructors called by PVM implicitly when an object is created. When an object is created. Whereas methods must be called explicitly when we need. So you need not to call without need. When we need, then only you can call. Dear students, am I clear about these differences? Am I clear about the differences, guys? Can you confirm? Yes, sir. We understood, sir. Now, I am going for types of constructors. Types of constructors. Slowly, I am coming to the types of constructors. I am coming to the types of constructors. I am coming. See how wonderful the types of constructors are there, and you will see the total extraordinary powerful skill you will get it. Types of constructors. So, constructors. Types of constructors in Python. Types of constructors in Python. Yes. Please look at. Here, dear student, you see employee. You come to this place. Employee 1. See, you look at employee class name. Actually, employee is a class name. Employee is a class name. Yes, interesting. Okay, listen very carefully. Listen. Employee. You take our beginning days. Beginning days. You take it. What we did. L1 is equal to list of. You tell me. List of. What is L1? Please tell me what is L1. In the beginning only we used, but I did not tell you that time constructor because you don't know that time. Timing is required to understand the subject. What is L1? Object. List of is called what? Class name acting as a function. Class name acting as a function. It is known as what? Constructor. That is internally calling what? Underscore init. Underscore init. So, actually in Java, what we will do? In Java, this we will do list of. We will write list of only the method name. If in Java, if you go that only we will write like this. We will write opening bracket and closing bracket. In Java, we write like this. We write like this in Java. But in Python, ROSM did not follow Java conventions. Nowadays, Java people are following Python conventions. Why? Because slowly people are coming towards this Python. That's why to resist Java, to make competitor to Java, lot of Python features are even copied there also. Lot of Python features are copied there also. Map filter function is there, map function is there. Even in Java also we are teaching that. Yeah. So I'm coming to the point. But in our Python, we don't have this type of thing. He did some special features they gave. See, here I'm saying this point, if you catch it, really you are getting. Right, come to the point of it. Durga Prasad, Java bigger, Python is bigger, I will tell you. Who is having which community? I will open the real website and I will show you. Don't worry. Both of them are running on the toes. No, Python is not bigger and Java is not bigger. Both of them are running. Still 1%, still as on today, Java is before. Java is forward. As on today, Java is forward. Python 1% less, still 1% less. Definitely in the future, both of them will be Java and Python will be equal. That's why I'm telling to all my students, learn Java and Python from our class. Why? Because if other Java students, if I see, they don't know anything. If I take other Python students, they don't know anything. Okay. So it is my advice. And don't feel that sorry saying with the proud voice. Yes, we are proud to be our class because we are supposed to be programmatically, we are making expertism in our class. So coming to the point of it, EO1, are you confident in programming or I am only telling? Are you confident in programming or I am saying by myself? I expressed confidently on behalf of you. Am I right or not? I can say that point, na? I can say that point, na? I can say that point, na? Yes, sir, we can say. Okay, fine, perfect. Right, ma, thank you. So I got confidence now. Because when you say, then only I can tell in the classes. Otherwise, I cannot say. Right. Come on, ma. Employee. The moment when you say employee, automatically it is going. So it is not employee is a class name actually. See, ma. Employee is a class name. Employee is a class name. Acting as a function name. Acting as a function name. Yes. So employee, open the bracket, close the bracket. It is acting as a method. Class name acting as a method name. Because of this is calling with self. Here also it is not taking additionally any parameter. Any parameter. Ravi, listen, I will tell you at the end of the last 15 minutes time. Okay, listen. Employee, open the bracket, close the bracket. Not taking any values. It is called default constructor we can call. Default constructor we can call. It is also called as what, parameterless constructor we can call. Parameterless. Less, no values are passing here. See, I'm passing an object. Parameterless. It is also called as what, do nothing constructor. Do nothing constructor also some people can call it as. So default constructor or parameterless constructor or do nothing constructor. What is the purpose of it? I will explain later. See, how can I say this is called a default constructor? Why, sir? It is taking only self as a parameter. Suppose if I take A comma, B comma, C comma, like this, if I take it now, it is taking parameters along with the self. Along to that C, A, B, C, here I will pass the three values. 10 comma, KVR comma, I will say OUCET. OUCET I am passing. For example, how many values I am passing? I am passing. Through this constructor, I am passing three values. It is known as what? Parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. How many constructors are there in Python, ma? How many constructors are there in Python, please? Yes, two types of constructors are there. One is called what? Please tell me, how many types of constructors are there? Two types of constructors are there. One is called what? Default constructor. One more is called what? Parameterized constructor. I will show you both of them for you. If it is a Java, we have so many. Default constructor, parameterless constructor, overloaded constructor, object parameterized constructor. So many number of constructors are there because they are all varieties of constructors which we come across in real time. In Python, we have two types of constructors are there. And now I am writing ma. In Python, we have, I'm writing, we have two types of constructors. They are a default constructor, yes, I'm writing. Also called as one more word, I will write it. Default constructor, parameterless constructor. Parameterless constructor. Second one is called parameterized constructor. Sir, what is the purpose of parameterized constructor? Sir, what is the purpose of default constructor? Sir, I will explain them one by one in the class. So, for my satisfaction, how many types of constructors are there? Two types of constructors are there, sir. Right. Now I am going for discussing about default constructor. Sir, what is the default constructor? Very, very simple, sir. See, sir, how easy there, sir. Default constructor. First, I will go for syntax. I will tell you now. I will tell you first syntax only. Because by looking at the syntax, half of the concept you will get it. Syntax, I will go for it. Syntax. So, what is the syntax now? Def. What is the name of the constructor, please? I forget. What is the name of the constructor, please? underscore underscore init underscore underscore. Yes, ma. Underscore underscore init underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self only. Only. I will write not taking any parameters, ma. Only self I am taking. So I am writing block of statements. Block of statements. Doing what? Initialization. Dear students, let me tell you the purpose of default constructor. Let me take the definition. Definition I am going to tell you. See the definition of default constructor. Definition of default constructor. Yes. See carefully, you watch it. Definition of default constructor. Default constructor is one. A default constructor is one which does not take any parameters, which does not take any values except self. Except self, ma. A default constructor is one. I am writing a default constructor. Practical, I will come to it. Very soon I will come to the practical. A default constructor is one which never takes, which never, within 2 minutes, you will see the miracles in the class. Which never takes any parameters. Which never takes any parameters. Which never takes any parameters. Or values. In the bracket, if you want, except self, ma. Except self, I say. Okay, sir. What is the purpose, sir? Can anybody tell the purpose, sir? Can anybody tell the purpose, sir? Please look at that, sir. I will go for the example. I will take one example, sir. Only specially I will go for default constructor. For example, so I am saying special example. Default, default, default constructor example 1.5. Okay. See, ma. T1 is equal to test of. Object is created. Okay. Class I will write it. What is the class name? Test. Okay. Now I will write the constructor. What is the constructor? Underscore of self. My interest is, let me take diagrammatical one small figure so that you can understand. My interest is, of course, the actual purpose I am saying to you. T1 is equal to test of. Okay. T2 is equal to test of. T3 is equal to test of. What is happening here? Test object, T1 object created. T2 object created. T3 object created. Then you tell me T1 object, T2 object, T3 object. In this, I want to take the data member A is equal to 10. I want to take the data member B is equal to 20. A and B are available in object. Hence, A and B are called instance data members. In T2 also, I want to take 10 only. B also 20 only. Same. Multiple objects of same class. With what values? Decided to initialize with the same values. That time, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. That time, you are highly recommended to go for the constructors. Which constructor? Default constructor recommended to go for it. Again, 3 objects are created. With what constructor? Here also not taking any values. See, test of, open the bracket, close the bracket. In the opening bracket, closing bracket, no values are taken. Test of, open the bracket, close the bracket. Test of, open the bracket, close the bracket. What is happening? Constructor is calling. Within that, what is happening? We never place any values. Except what? Self, we will take it. Here, you come to the point of it. Here I am writing self dot A is equal to 10 directly. Self dot B is equal to 20. Self dot B is equal to 20. Now see that. T1. T2 is equal to test of. T3 is equal to test of. Now print here only. Print directly. What is that? Print print here only. What is that? Content of T1 is equal to comma T1 dot underscore init underscore of, sorry, dict, this is dict. Similarly, you take it as T2 related also, T2, T3, content of T3 related also. Whenever you go for, say that file name, I will take it default constructor example 1 dot py. Yes, out of that you see ma py, I will say default constructor example 1. See content of same, T2 same, T3 same. So specifically as a part of the real-time programming, default constructors are always used for initializing the multiple objects with what values? Same values. That time I will go for default constructor. And it doesn't mean that only for that. You can read the value dynamically also. But actually default constructors are designed for what kind of content? To place the same content in multiple objects. Now that point I am writing the purpose of default constructors. The purpose of what constructor? Default constructor is that the purpose of default constructor is that to place or to is that to initialize multiple objects, with what? Same, to initialize multiple objects, 1 minute ma, multiple objects of which class? Same class with the same values. To initialize multiple objects of same class with what values? Same values, with the same values. I don't know how far you are understanding. I hope that everybody got it. Same values. Are you getting my points, guys? Is it clear or just bouncing? Ma? Bouncing or clear? Yes, sir, it is clear. It is clear, sir. Very nice. Simple. Now I will go for next. I will go for parameterized constructor. I will come. Right. Parameterized constructor. Satyam Sharma. Please explain once more. So once more means song is good once more. Oh, once more. Because in my childhood time I've seen that if anybody sing a song very well in schools and all people will say once more. Once more means students will say once more, but the person who is singing a song once more means he will get very much pain. Right? Means again he has to sing a song. First time singing a song is very energetic. Next time singing a song means very painful. Right. So coming to the point. Here no parameters are there. Block of statements. Same block of statements I am writing for multiple constructors. Default constructor is one which never takes any parameters. The purpose of default constructor is to place the same values I say. Here you see A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Multiple objects of same class, same values I want to place it. How do you do that? Def underscore init underscore of self. Then what I do there? Self dot A is equal to 10 fixed. Self dot B is equal to 20, like that. So for this also this constructor will be called. For this also this constructor will be called. For this also this constructor will be called. For multiple objects this constructor only getting calling. Hence all objects are initialized with what values? Same values. I hope it is clear for you. What, students, clear? Yes. Now I am going for parameterized constructor. Now I am entering into the parameterized constructor here. Second one is called parameterized constructor. Very, very simple. Sir, let us take an example, sir, first. Let us take an example, sir. Take an example. Suppose you take this only. This part only you take it. What is that part? You see. Take this example. I will convert into parameter example. Parameterized constructor example. So here all the objects contain same values. Today we don't take it. We don't take it. So parameterized constructor. So I am taking parameterized constructor example. So here I will do, test T1 is equal to new test of 10, 20, 10, 20. See, in this bracket, I am passing values. Parameterized constructor takes values 10, 20. Two values are going. Tell me, after self, what should I write in there? Comma, A, comma, B I am taking. Or X, comma, Y I am writing. Or K, comma, V I am writing. Any formal parameters, list of formal parameters. Anything, whatever you like. A, comma, B. Along with the self, you are taking list of parameters. So this constructor is called what constructor? Tell me, what is this constructor is called? What is this constructor is called? Parameterized constructor. Previous constructor is called what? What is this constructor is called? What is this constructor is called? A default. Only self is there. Here you see test of. Only self is there. Here I am taking untitled self A, comma, B. A, comma, B. What I will do? Self dot A is equal to A. Self dot B is equal to B. Self dot B is equal to B. Self dot B is equal to B. Self dot A is called a data member. Self dot B is called data member. A and B are called data members. A and B are called formal parameters. Sorry. Self dot A, self dot B is called what? Data members. This AB is called what? Formal parameters. Come on now. Here I will pass what? 100, 200. 100, 200. 100, 200. Which constructor is calling? Which constructor is calling? Always passing this. So, Satyam Sharma, I told you Nama just now. K, V. K, V. I can take Satyam, Sharma. Sharma. I can take. A is self dot A is equal to Satyam. I will write Satyam and B is equal to Sharma. Yes, finished. Finished. Okay. 10, 20. 10 is storing in Satyam and 20 is storing in Sharma. And assigned to self dot A, self dot B. 100 is storing, 100 and 200 is storing in Satyam and Sharma is like this. And done. And the next is called what? 1000 and 2000. 1000 and 2000. 2000. Same way going to that place. Execute. Execute. Now say. Formal parameter names are nothing but your own choice. Already we learned in the methods only. Already we learned in the methods only. Say default constructor. Default parameterized constructor. Now I got see. A value 10, 20. B value 100, 200. See this. Whenever you want to initialize multiple objects of what? Same class with a different values. Go for which constructor? Go for which constructor? Go for which constructor? Parameterized constructor. Whenever I want to initialize multiple objects of each class, same class, go for which constructor? Go for which constructor? Default constructor. Let us go to that. See, parameterized constructor always takes values as parameters. Coming to the point of it. Now I am writing default constructor. Syntax I will write it first. Syntax I will write it more. Please permit me to copy that. Now I am taking self comma list of formal params. Formal params. Block of statements. Self comma list of formal params. Done. Next, second one I am talking about it. Definition of this one. Definition of parameterized constructor. I am talking about that. Definition of parameterized constructor. Now I am taking definition of parameterized constructor. I am talking definition of parameterized Parameterized constructor. Definition of parameterized constructor. A parameterized constructor is one. I am writing. A parameterized constructor is one, which is always taking. A parameterized constructor is one, which always takes. Which always, I will write. Always takes. Parameters. Always takes parameters. Oblique values along with self. Yes, done. Sir, what is the purpose of it? Same, mama. Very, very simple. So I will take this help. So I am writing. So the purpose of parameterized constructor is that to initialize multiple values. To initialize multiple objects of same class with different values. With what values? Different values. With different values. Dear students, is it clear or not clear? You have seen practically that example. Come on, fast. Yeah, Mr. Durga Prasad, I told you, Nama. Just now I told you. When you come to the main program, this is a constructor notation. Whose internally calling method is called this one. By looking at this, it is called a parameterized constructor. Whose internal calling part, whose internal definition part is, this is also called a parameterized constructor. Durga Prasad, is it clear? When you look at, this is a parameterized constructor. When you look at, whenever it is calling, whose internal part is this one is called. This is called a parameterized constructor. This is also called a parameterized constructor. When somebody asks you what is this, you have to tell parameterized constructor. What is calling internally? You have to tell whose linked part is called this one. Mr. Durga Prasad, clear? Yes. That only I am saying, ma. That only. This is called object creation. What I am saying, you try to understand quickly. This is called object creation. In object creation, what is this called? I told so many times so far. What is this is called? First of all, it is not a class. Class is called what? This is called a class. This one, no parameters. First of all, you need to have observation. This is called a tester. Tester. This is called a class. This is called a class. This is called a constructor. I told so many times. Test of open the bracket, close the bracket. It is see your carefully. It is called a constructor. Which constructor? Default. Now I will pass the values. 10, 20. What is this is called? Parameterized constructor. Is everybody got it or not? This is called class. This is called parameterized constructor. I told so many times this part. So don't concentrate only on your doubt. See, sir, what is listening. When you listen my concept carefully, no doubts will come. Because it's a 23 years plus experience I am teaching now. What doubt students will get? It's become extraordinary micro level doubts also I will clarify. When you listen carefully, no doubts will come. Right? So some lakhs of students trained, different generations of students trained. Okay, please listen. So Satyam Sharma, your parameters also clarified. So I am taking shortly A and B. So I don't write a big names like this. I will take A and B. I will take A and B, which is called which constructor? Please confirm all of you. I confirmed default constructor example. I confirmed parameterized constructor example. Same values and then different values. Is it okay? Default constructor, parameterized constructor separately explained. Will you allow me to move forward? Will you allow me to move forward? Yes, sir. So, now I am going to enter into, sir, explained separately, default constructor, satisfied. Explained parameterized constructor, satisfied. Sir, now I am going to enter into a biggest discussion I am going to. Most wonderful point. Of course, you look at. See, now I am coming to sample. 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 What is that? Sample. Okay. Look at that. What I am going to do is, sample.py. Now I am writing class sample. Class sample. Dear students, be careful, ma. Okay. Coming to this place, ma. SO is equal to sample of. Sample of. Durga Prasad, you tell me what is this line is called? What is this entire line is called? Only Durga Prasad will tell you. Will tell me. What is this line is called? Quickly. Don't waste the time. What is this line? Object creation. What is SO? What is SO? Okay. What is sample only? What is sample? Only sample. Only sample. Durga Prasad. Class. Sample of. Sample of. Sample of. Constructor. It is not constructor. You have to tell default constructor. It is called a default constructor. What Kaushal Tata? What happened to you again? Empty class. Ayyo. Sample of. I am asking here. Line number 12. Line number 12 I am asking. What constructor it is? Default constructor. Okay. I will immediately go to this place. I will define def underscore init underscore of what? Self. So I am writing self dot a is equal to 100. Self dot b is equal to 200. Okay, nice. Okay, nice. I will print immediately there also, no problem. Print. I am initializing. I am printing here only, no problem. Value of a is equal to, see students, I am printing then and there. Dot format of self dot a. Self dot a. I am printing then and there. Next, value of b. B is equal to self dot b. Self dot b. Right. Self dot a. Format of self dot a. Next, self dot b. Now I will just execute. This is called a main program. I am initializing. I am printing then and there. Be careful, ma. Be careful. So save this code. Save this code. Now done. Execute. Happy. Sample dot py. Right? Got the answer. Got the values. Okay, what happens? Self dot a, self dot b. Okay. Yes, ma. That brackets missing. Mapping brackets missing. That's why values are not printed. Okay, values are printed. No problem. Dear students, this is default constructor. This is default constructor. FAULT. See, most wonderful point I made. SO1 is equal to, now story starts. Now story starts. 1, 2. 1, 2. See, all of you. 1, 2. Which constructor it is? Which constructor? Everybody. Which constructor? Which constructor? Parameterized constructor. Default. Which constructor it is? Parameterized constructor. Tell me, parameterized constructor means PVM control goes to self. Is this third constructor, if this line is matching? Is this constructor is matching? Not matching. What he will do now? What he will do now? Is it necessary to define another constructor or not necessary? Need to define another constructor. Need to define another constructor or not? For every constructor, we require a definition. Here, that's why I told you separately. Constructor, separate constructor. For all of them are default only. Here is separately I shown you that only. See, this is called constructor. Done. Constructor, parameterized. Now you see here, this type of scenarios I told you in the functions, if you remember. So everybody will expect that they will define another constructor, because most of them are coming from Java background and all those things. I will write a comma, k comma v, I will write it. It is writing k here. It is called v here. V here. Now, this is what we are expecting it. Yes. Then they will be feeling happy. For this 100 and 200 is coming. For this SO1 is considered 1 and 2. They will feel like that. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, sir. So we felt like that only, sir. But what you are feeling is wrong answer. What you are feeling is wrong answer. Okay? Your feelings are wrong answer. Once upon a time, no, in our class concept, I told you functions, overloaded function calls. Whenever we are taking the same function call with variable number of parameter values, we cannot define that many number of function definitions because Python never allows the function overloading. That's why we went for what? Variable number of arguments. Star n. Did you remember that? Did you remember that? If you remember, you are excellent. I am remembering, I am excellent. If you remember, you are excellent. Otherwise, read the notes. Tomorrow, if you go for an interview, this is a question. Now, this is called error. This is called error. This is called error. Rajkamal, why we use asterisk, ma? Why we use asterisk there? Did you remember that? To hold variable number of values. To hold variable number of values. In our Java, if you are my Java student, I told you in the function overload, method overloading. What we used in our Java? Dot we used it. 3 dots concept we used it in our Java. In Python we use what? Asterisk we will use. That is called variable length params. Variable length arguments. Galaxy, yes. Variable arguments concept in Java I used to explain. Here it is called variable argument concept. Dear students, come on, ma. Sample of 1, 2. So, in these two constructor, you will get error first of all. Why? This is a PVM is coming from the beginning. So, this is done. This is done. So, here constructor name is same. Here no parameters. Here parameters are there. Do you know? PVM will take this constructor only into mind. PVM will take this constructor only into the consideration. It will forget about this because it is an interpretation language. It will remember this constructor only. So line number 17 error will come. Line number 17 error will come. Python will come from top to bottom. And this will remember only one. Recent constructor only it will remember. It will forget about this constructor. When it forget about this constructor, when you go for this will give you an error. This will give you an error. Let us execute. Let us execute. Now see. Execute. See, this we got an error. This we got an error. Suppose if you don't define this, you will get this as an error. Now you execute. This you will get error. What is that? You see, this you got an error. Suppose if you define, you will get default constructor an error. Then what to do? That means it allows us to go for what? How many constructors at a time in a class? First of all, students, are you getting me? Are you running along with me? How many constructors at a time? How many constructors at a time? 1 at a time. But how many constructors I am using? How many constructors I am using? How many constructors I am? 2 constructors I am using at a time. 2 constructors I am using at a time. I am using 2 constructors at a time. Hence, I am going to conclude my sentences. 2 constructors I am using at a time. How to define, sir? How to satisfy this, sir? In a class of Python, we can define only 1 constructor at a time. But with our intelligence, I can make 2 constructors to work in my class. I can make 2 constructors to work in my class. Okay. How, sir? How can I make you to work 2 constructors, sir? First, you take default. See, apply your intelligence. Default arguments concept you apply. You don't define this. You don't define this. Or you define this. Whatever. One you remember it. One you remove. Default, take this only. This I will go for default as well as what? Parameter as a constructor, I will make it to act. Please remember our default arguments. A is equal to 1. comma, B is equal to 2 I am writing. A is equal to 1 and B is equal to, or you write, this I will write it, 100 I will write it, 100 I will write it, B is equal to 200 you write it, self dot A you write it, and then self dot B is what? 200 you write it, B you write it. Previous answer you see, previous answer, what we got previous answer? Because of this constructor, we got 1020, and because of this answer, we got the dynamic values. Now here, I want to, with this what values I want to get it earlier? 100 and 200. With this update, what values I want to get it? 1 and 2. Default parameter mechanism, default arguments, default position, default parameters, which we completed in the functions. Start. First one. Where it will go? Constructor. Self. Is it necessary to pass the values here? No. Not passing means which values are taking? Default values. What are the default values? Assigned. Value of A, value of B printed. Okay? Satisfying. Satisfying or not satisfying? Default value. Not passing anything. Default values are taken into consideration. Next you take. You need to remember back points. If you don't remember back points, this is not a miracle to understand it on the spot. Of 1, 2. What will happen? It will pass self only. A was 100 previously. Now A is how much now? 1. A is replaced with 1. And B is 200 earlier. Now B is called what? 2. 2. Now print it. Now print it. Execute. See, I got A and B values. And I got A and B values. Is with our intelligence, is this constructor satisfied both the default and parameter or not? This is called remembering of our concepts. Without remembering anything, we cannot do anything else. Now see, one more point. One more point I will write it. Here, I will write print of. I'm writing print of. What is that? SO1 object, SO1 values. I'm writing SO1 values. I'm writing. Next is what I'm writing? SO1 values I wrote. Here I'm writing SO1 values. SO1 values I'm writing. Just to print it. See, SO1 values. SO values, SO1 values. I will just write here one sentence so that it is looking nice. Nice output you will get it. Now I'm going to get it. Here I got it. This values. See carefully. Now you get it. So SO values, SO1 values, SO1 values. Or why confusion? SO1 and SO2 I will write. SO1 values, SO1 values, SO2 values. I will show you one more point here. Done. Now see, this is a default. These are 2 parameters I am taking. Now I am taking one more thing. One more thing I will take. See how many constructors I am using. SO3 I am taking. Here what I am doing? SO3 only 100 I am passing. Only 100 I am passing. 100. What is the meaning of it? To whom? This is a single parameter. This is a double parameter. This is a single parameter. 100 means to whom it is passing? 1000 I will pass it. 1000 for example. 1000. Or 10, you take it as 10, no problem. To whom it is passing? A na B na? A na B na? Positional parameter now. First positional parameter 10. A is 10. And B is as usual. Which value will be taken? Default value will take. Subject I am talking. See that A is 10, B is 200. Excellent. Now, if you know, still I will drive the class like anything. SO4 I will take it. What I am doing now, you know. B is equal to 55, comma, A is equal to 65. Which concept it is? Come on. Which concept it is? Extraordinary subject. Keyword arguments, this is keyword arguments. A is equal to 65, passing to A. B is equal to 55, passing to B. Even though you are passing in wrong order, it is passing exactly. Beautiful answer. Yes. 65, 55. Next, I will pass, see, SO4, SO5, SO5. I am writing SO4, SO4, this is 4. SO5, what I am saying? Now I am saying B is equal to 555. B is equal to 555. B value is equal to 555. A value is how much only? A value how much only? Yes. See, what a great subject it is. What a great subject it is. Our parameter mechanism I am using in the constructors. That's why subject is power. Every concept of back we will carry forward. Tell me, how many constructors I defined, Amma? How many constructors I defined? 2 are. Ayyo. How many constructors I defined? 1 only, which is satisfying all types of constructors or not? 1 only, which is satisfied all types of constructors. Which is satisfied all types of constructors. Default parameters. Can I write both default and parameterized constructors in a single class of Java? In a class of Java, listen my question. Can I define both default and parameterized constructors separately? Can I define separately? Babu, are you following? In a class of Python, can we define a separate default constructor and separate parameterized constructor? Not possible, sir. We have to write a single constructor which will satisfy the default and parameterized constructor with the default parameters and keyword parameters. That point I will mention here. In a particular class of Python, very big note I am writing. In a particular class of Python, we can't define a separate default, and I will write again. Your English problem is coming because nowadays people are getting problem in English. Even though we study English from the LKG onwards, we can't define a separate default and separate parameterized constructors. Parameterized constructor. Separate parameterized constructor. We can't define a separate parameter, separate default and parameterized constructor. But we must define, we can define only single parameterized constructor, which will satisfy default constructor also, default constructor functionality also, even though I write here, if you don't practice, nothing will come, which will satisfy default constructor functionality also, by the help of, I will write the concept also, by the help of what? Default and I used one more also. Default and what? Keyword arguments. That's it. Keyword arguments. Dear students, is my sentence is clear? Is my examples are clear? See, one constructor satisfies everything. Parameterized constructor exclusively. Default constructor exclusively. EMP1 separately done. All of them EMP with methods. Everything is done very, very perfectly. Is constructor's concept is clear or not? Yes or clear. So this concept will be continued daily. Always already 5:56 ma. Already 5:56. Yeah. I will upload at the 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, I will upload this in the notes. I will upload at 8 o'clock. See, ma, I have next class. Durga Prasad, I am not only specific to Durga Prasad. Kevrao sir is not specific to Durga Prasad. In a day, I am common for around 1100 students in all my batch students. So I should take care about all the classes. At the end of all my classes, I will upload. Okay, na? Don't worry. Up to that, we can take care. So, is today's class is clear? Please confirm, Mama, everybody. Constructor concept. Yes, at 8 o'clock, I will upload in the class, ma. And tomorrow's class, this will be carry forwarded daily. This will be carry forwarded daily. This will be carry forwarded daily. Okay. So tomorrow's class, when I come back, we have the beautiful subject behind that. That is called destruct